了一位国际格斗界大师级的超级巨星，他就是 UFC 的巨星，也是中国版 UFC 终极斗士的总教练汤里先生。In the circle, in the business, the superstar of UFC, Mr. Conley.
Hello. In Macau, which was a big honor for me because I feel like martial arts came from China, and for me to fight on, in China, and defeat a great, former champion like Rich Franklin in front of the, all the Asian audience was like a dream come true, and especially by way of knockout against Rich Franklin.
Working together with the Chinese fighter, what kind of the most important lessons or experience you want to pass on to them?
Well, for me, not just knowledge in the game inside the octagon, how to be successful, but diet, nutrition, and making sure that they don't overtrain, because a lot of the Chinese fighters, their use of their old coaches pushing them to the limit and not giving them time to recover, and that was the biggest, I think biggest mistakes of like modern day training from the Chinese coaches is overtraining, and because everything's so scientific in the UFC, and all the guys that are the top athletes, from training to recover to to nutrition, everything is so like really sharp on everything. It's like dialed in for those guys, and now we need to get these Chinese fighters to do the same methods, because they're just as talented as any other fighters, but they just need the knowledge and the coaching. And like a lot of the fighters from China, they're good on their feet, they're stand up, but they still got to work against the fence on the ground, and as soon as they hit the ground, don't stay down there, they got to get up right away. So there's just a lot of little details that will make the difference in these fighters.
China is a country which has a rich cultural heritage in mixed martial arts. So are you aware of that? How do you understand that spirit of the mixed martial arts?
Well, I feel like the roots are all from China, and then I think now it's time for all. It's not about the grandmasters anymore. I think they were important to the Chinese martial arts and martial arts in general, but a lot of them, when they teach martial arts, they teach only 75%, and they expect their student to learn the other 25%, and if they don't, that's okay. And I think that's the wrong philosophy, because when they're 6 feet under and when they passed away, their skill, knowledge goes 6 feet under with them. So now it's the new era, it's the new age, it's about the fighters, it's about the athletes, it's not about the coaching anymore, it's not about, honor your coach, it's about, of course, honor your coach, but it's about getting the fighters, the Asian fighters, to the next level, and they will become the grandmasters in the future. So you got to build the next crop, and I think that's the most important thing for the for the Asian martial arts and martial arts in general, is to make sure the athletes, the fighters, get the proper training and the proper knowledge and experience to compete at the highest level, so they can represent all of Asia, not just China, but all of Asia.
We've seen you starring many kung fu movies in recent years. So which role maybe you prefer most, kung fu star or just a fighter in UFC?
I would like to do both. I can't fight forever, but right now I'm able to do both. I'm able to fight and do movies, and I think right now my main focus is to make sure that the Asian and the Chinese fighters get to the next level. But for me, then I'm going to transition as more of a mentor coach, and then also make sure that all the Asian fighters are well developed, so there's not just one crop, but many crops to come for many generations. And then my career as a fighter will be more of like the mentor coach. Then the movie wise, I want to represent the Asian people, as like in America you got like the white guys who are always up against the villain, who are the Asians or the Asian nerds, and I think it's just it's time for someone to step up, and the Asian guys beat up the white guys. I'm Asian. I represent all the Asian people, and whether I'm on Beijing soil or Shanghai soil or Singapore soil or Macau soil or Vietnam soil, I'm proud to be here. it doesn't matter where I'm at, and it's Asian, and we're all under one umbrella. And I'm just proud to be an Asian. I represent Asia when I fight, and I represent Asia when I do movies.
Well, since you lost the fight with Wanderlei Silva, right, in 2011, so would you consider a rematch with him?
I actually announced that I would love a rematch with Wanderlei Silva or fight Michael Bisping, but of course it'll be a dream come true to fight Wanderlei again. You know, he had a great game plan. He instead of coming forward, he ran away. But you know, also during that fight, I didn't want to pull out. It was my first UFC fight, and then I was training with King Mo, and he cracked my rib a month before the fight. So I want to see how I do, whether I win or I lose against Wanderlei the second time. I want to fight him when I'm healthy.
I think we've all seen the explosive scene of the Anderson Silva broke his shin, right, during a fight with another opponent. As you're a kickboxer before, right, the same as the Wanderlei Silva, the Muay Thai fighter. So you have any suggestions?
You mean Anderson?
Anderson Silva.
Yeah.
You have any suggestions about how to strengthen your shin?
You know, I think he has hard shins. Everyone who trains has hard shins. You kick on the bag. You've been doing it for years. It just happened at the wrong. You know, you kick at the wrong spot in the leg, and the bone snapped, and it just happens. Sometimes, you know, things like that happen in any sports, just like in football, in basketball, in everything. It happens. So that was just it happened.
Yeah, but I heard that he's gonna have soon recovery, like in 2 or 3 months, right?
I guarantee you, he won't be fighting in 2 or 3 months. He'll be walking in about 2 or 3 months, and then barely. Yeah. It'll be a long process before he's back if he decides to come back. Yeah.
So if he one day just come back to the octagon, what do you think Dana White gonna make another the third time match between them?
I don't think so. I think he's got to fight his way back, and we'll see at that time. It's too early to say.
You share your photos and videos with your dear children. So would you like your child to be fight in UFC or MMA one day, in 20 or 30 years?
You know, fighting's a hard sport, but if they want to do it, I will support them. But in the end, whatever they do, that's on the right track, and I will support them.
All right. So whatever they want to do.
Yes.
Be with them, right?
Yes. Yeah, but of course I would love my kids to fight. Yeah. We have 4 finalists, Macau, March 1st. It's going to be amazing. Don't miss it. Either try to get your tickets, fly there and watch it in Macau, and hang out with me at the after party or before, or watch it on TV because you don't want to miss it because it's going to be like nuts.
We're going to stick with you, Mr. Gang Li.
Thank you very much for the support.
Thanks.
All right.
All right.